China has long been a surveillance state. Now Big Brother meets Big Data. In trials across the country, cameras and spyware are watching, mapping your digital footprint to every step you take. What you do, say, and even think is being monitored and marked against you. The party calls it social credit, a personal scorecard for 1.4 billion citizens. Rewards for good behaviour and punishments for bad. It's not fully operational yet, but this report will show you a vision of China's dystopian future, the world's first digital dictatorship. China's cities are already flush with cameras, around 200 million of them. What's changing is they're getting smarter. China is positioning itself to lead the world in artificial intelligence. Surveillance technology is a key proving ground. Facial recognition, body scanning and geo-tracking, matched with your personal data and online behaviour, will power the social credit system, leaving no dark corner to hide in. At the World Intelligence Congress in Tianjin, Big Brother's new toys are on show. Several of the exhibitors here, including tech giant Alibaba, are now working with the state to write the algorithms that will calculate your social credit score. They've already got the know-how and the user data from their financial credit system, Alipay. Manager of Alipay Tianjin is Chong Jia.
一个人一旦有了芝麻信用，他的在生活当中的点点滴滴的信用行为都会被记录起来，用数字去衡量它。那一个人如果信用不好，我们实现的一个目标就是让守信者通行天下，让失信者寸步难行。
Sounds dramatic, but it's the party line. Pilot programs for a national social credit system are already underway. By 2020, the official outline boasts it will allow the trustworthy to roam freely under heaven, while making it hard for the discredited to take a single step.
我觉得中国真的在很短时间能发展成现在的这个样子，我觉得真的非常自豪。另外我也觉得，就是由于大数据的发展和一些新的一些 digital 手段的一个发展，然后现在在中国生活真的很方便、很便捷。
Fan Dandan is going places. Very much the modern Chinese woman. She's a marketing professional, diligent and prosperous, and sees clear skies in her digital future.
那么其实政府已经掌握了我们很多资料，然后政府方也掌握了一些我们个人信用，就比如说是否遵纪守法啊，以及我们的教育程度。那我觉得如果把所有的大数据，那对我们来讲其实是更高效的。
A model citizen, Dandan will rate highly on social credit. That her every action will be tracked and judged is fine by her.
其实是，但我觉得哪儿的人可能都希望有一个非常稳定的一个和谐的一个社会。那如果真的像国家现在在努力去做的这个事情，每个角落都有这个，就是每个公共区域的拐角都有这个摄像头的话，其实我觉得我会觉得更安全一些。
Dandan's criminal, academic and medical records will feed into her score, as well as state security assessments. Her shopping habits will be another measure. Her score could even change in real time, depending on what she puts in her trolley. Buy a lot of alcohol suggests dependence. Lose a couple of points. Buy a pack of nappies, gain a few, suggests responsibility. Late on mortgage payments or your tax return, lose a lot more. Not that Dandan would risk that. She keeps a close eye on her financial rating via a mobile payment app. So this is Sesame Credit, right?
Yeah.
So what's the score that you have? See, that's
773.
773. So what's the maximum you can get?
I think it's 800.
So you got a pretty good score.
Oh wow, I think I'm doing well. Not the best, but yeah, somewhere on top.
773. So what kind of access or what kind of privileges does that give you?
This is like for rent cars. I don't have to pay deposit.
So you don't have to pay a deposit, yeah?
Yeah, and this is also for a hotel, and also no deposit for renting a house.
China's middle class is on the rise. Like Dandan, they're mostly young, urban, and used to living much of their lives online and on devices.
现场演示一下那个支付宝的那个，正好给你把那个什么打开，那个这是什么？阿里巴巴生活缴费，我按一下。对，就是这是你已经就是你只要在上面发生任何就是有支付的行为，就会是在上面有个记录，然后你走路的步数也会有那个什么。我一会儿发คู碰给你，就是你要是成为了客户的话，我们俩都有那个券。
所以我觉得这个，我觉得只是对我来讲，这个信用体系的产生并不是一个新的东西，我觉得它是已有的一个东西，只是把它用一个更高效的方式，线上的方式去整合它。所以我觉得，对，这其实是在我们已有的基础上去建立这么一个体系。
Who you date and ultimately partner with will also affect your social credit. Dandan married for love, but she also chose the right husband. Zhang Xiaojing's score is likely to be even higher than hers. Xiaojing is a civil servant with the Justice Department, a loyal cadre of the party.
外交或者通交的国家，对吧？大家付出互利，其实都是一个信用体系。当然，对于我们就是内部而言，民众而言，大家也希望大家都是人与之间互助、互爱，然后互帮，然后大家共同的富裕。第二个，我希望就像习总书记说的我们能够达到就是富强、民主、文明、和谐、美丽，是吧？他提出的一个国家的发展希望，当然也是我们全中国人民的希望。
我们看看今天中国人的这个精神面貌就知道，他们被蒙住了眼睛，捂住了耳朵，实际上是又聋又瞎的。他们其实很多信息都不知道，就呈现在一种虚幻的这个感觉里面。
I've come to Chongqing City, a high-tech metropolis in central China, where the Jialing River meets the Yangtze. I'm here to meet one of the 10 million people who've seen the dark side of the social credit system. Investigative journalist Leo Hu. With a street-smart, hands-on approach, Hu has exposed high-level corruption and solved murder cases abandoned by the police. In many countries, he'd be celebrated, not in China.
我觉得很多政府把我当成敌人吧。我们更倾向于它是一种宣传的机器，它可以向国民来灌输一些东西，而不是说需要大家去了解真相。要是有人去阻挠、去披露它，那么我就认为它跟贪腐，这个贪腐它是一伙的。
In 2015, Hu lost a defamation case after he accused an official of extortion. He was made to publish an apology and pay a fine, but when the court demanded an additional fee, Hu refused. Then in 2017, he found himself suddenly locked out of society. Under a pilot social credit scheme, he'd been blacklisted as dishonest.
我有一些律师朋友，也有一些法官朋友，他们都告诉我们，失信是因为欠钱。我不欠钱，我是不能够纳入这个名单的。
Hu maintains he has fully met the terms of his 2015 case. He believes his blacklisting is political, but he has no way of challenging it.
那个，我有两方面看法。第一个是，很多错误的被纳入这个信用系统的人，他没法摆脱。
His poor social credit rating has shut down his travel options and confined him to effective house arrest in Chongqing.
我现在是已经被限制这个自由的出行了，就是订票啊，我们高铁和飞机都不行。我给你演示一下，我们用这个 APP 来订票。现在是我们从重庆到西安，我们来订一张票，订一张过几天的票。
And what does it say?
然后就显示那个出票失败，说我已经被法院依法限制高消费，限制乘坐 G 字头列车。
Hu's social media accounts have also been closed. Before his arrest, he had nearly 2 million followers. It's where he published much of his journalism.
我曾经有过好几个微博，10几个，这些微博号现在都没有了。最新的一个这个是被封的一个号，现在是这个号是没有了。
Hu scrapes by, writing for an online publication. His investigative reports are on hold. It's not his first run-in with censorship. In August 2013, he was detained without trial after exposing a senior party member's links with illegal prostitution. This is a recreation based on Hu's accounts.
你的行为对社会已经造成了诽谤罪，你认不认罪？如果你承认了，领导高兴了就把你给放了。
Over the course of a year, he was interrogated more than 70 times.
就是说，你要跟我们配合，
你想清楚没有啊？
你不配合，等你出来，你这个工作也没了，你老婆孩子也跟人跑了。
Hu refused to confess and was eventually released. Now he's trapped again, the four walls of a cell replaced by social credit's dragnet.
那个进去出来这几年，5年时间嘛，到现在，我们媒体行业是变化很大的，没法干，大家很多人都离开这个行业了，包括特别是做调查的、做深度报道的记者是越来越少。我想我只是还喜欢这个，就尽可能多的留在这个地方，然后写一些我愿意写的一些故事，也能够起一些作用吧。
I'm going to a place where the principles of social credit have been taken to brutal extremes. The party doesn't want the world to know about it. Reporting on the situation is risky. To get there, we must fly 4,000 kilometres from Beijing to the western edge of China. Xinjiang, the nation's largest province, and according to some, the world's largest open prison. Xinjiang is the homeland of the Uyghurs, Turkic people of Islamic faith. China's rulers have struggled to control the region and its people for 2 millennia. Surveillance technology is the new weapon in their campaign.
Bu nazorat sistemasi 2016 yılı yıl ahir kelgende shuningdan keyin biz burun ko'rib bakmagan, anglab bakmagan, hech qanday bizlarga tajriba qilib bakmagan kuzatish sistemalari, nazorat sistemalari orqadan paydo bo'ldi.
Tahir Hamid is a Uyghur filmmaker and poet from the Xinjiang city of Kashgar. He can talk about the situation there because he managed to escape with his family to the US, where they've applied for political asylum. He made the decision to flee last year.
5. ay bo'lsa kerak, bizga saqchi punktdan telefon qildi. Kelsanglar deb bo'ldi deb biz saqchi punktiga bordik. Saqchi punktiga borgandan keyin bizni bir saqchi punktniki yer osti uyiga boshlab kirdi. Bu yer osti uyi odatda so'roq qilingan uy. Mayindagi ishxonalarda zanjirlar isig'liq, biz yo'ldosh o'rindiq deydigan jinoyatchilarni qo'lini bog'lab qo'yib o'tirib, so'roq qiladigan o'rindiqlar, temir o'rindiqlar bor. Biz uning ichiga kirdik, kirgandan keyin taxminan bu yerda bir 20-30 odam bor. Hammasi Uyg'ur ularniki. Birinchi qadamda bizga o'tgan chog'da ayolimda ishganlarniki qon oldi. Ikkinchi qadamda bizning ovozimizni oldi. Uchinchi bosqichda bizniki barmoq izimizni oldi. Demak, buni tugatib bo'lgandan keyin, anadan keyin 4-chi qadamda bizniki yuzimizni suratga oldi. Biz endi bu suratga olgan chog'da apparat qaraymiz, qarab turib, bodil qarab, andan keyin o'ngga qaytib kelamiz, solga, yana qaytib kelamiz, ustiga qaytib kelamiz, ostiga.
Tahir and his wife were being scanned by facial recognition software. Their faces mapped from all angles to enhance accuracy. They were even forced to produce a range of facial expressions.
Meningcha hamda bu kontrol sistemasi Uyg'urlarga nishonli qildi qaratilgan bir xil sistema. Chunki bir Xitoydagi bir davlatda biz bir asonliq millat hisoblanadigan bir millatda milliy madaniyat siyosiy harakatninki birinchi hujum nishoni bo'ldi.
Inside Kashgar, it's almost impossible to report independently. Government officials do their best to conceal any sign of the oppression Tahir describes. Look closer and the cracks appear. The party-approved vision of this city is a facade. Kashgar's historic old town has been demolished and just one section rebuilt as a sort of Uyghur theme park for Chinese tourists. You can buy souvenirs, try the local cuisine, and even see a show. But there's tension in the air. The locals can't speak with us. Armed guards and cameras keep a watchful eye, and Chinese flags claim the rooftops, even the dome of the mosque. So it's quite difficult to film here. We've got about 6 miners with us the whole time. They're telling us what we can film, what we can't do. Sometimes they delete our material. On top of that, we've got about another 8 to 10 security guards that further restrict our movements. What I can tell you from the car is that though they've set up a kind of grid-like management system, and every 100 metres or so you see a police station, and they're aided with enormous amounts of CCTV cameras, with facial recognition, to really have a total control here. What is clear is that there is quite a brutal, repressive crackdown going on here, and technology is at the centre of it. Xinjiang's take on social credit is simple and ruthless. Citizens here are not given a score. Instead, they're divided into just 3 categories: trustworthy, average, untrustworthy. If you're Han Chinese, you're deemed trustworthy and granted freedom of movement. But if you're Uyghur, you're average, with restrictions imposed on travel and religious practices. If you're a Uyghur male who breaks those restrictions, you're marked as untrustworthy and detained in what the party calls education and training centres. Tahir Hamut has another name for them.
Yani aşu yig'ilish lagerining ichida nihoyatda tar bir muhitda, tar bir joyda nurdan ortiq odam birga turdi. Ular kunda 10 necha soatlab siyosiy o'rganish qiladi. Andan keyin yeydigan tamog'i, ichadigan suyi, turmushi intayin qiyin. Andan keyin hamda bu yig'ilish lagerlarida hamda nurg'un odam kasal bo'ladi. Andan keyin hatto o'lib ketayotgan odamlarniki ushullarini shu chaqdan tortib biz anglashga boshlagan.
In August this year, the UN announced it had seen credible reports that over 1 million Uyghurs are currently held without charge in camps in Xinjiang, purely because of their ethnicity. The Chinese government rejects the claim, insisting it only detains convicted terrorists. Tahir's personal experience tells a different story. When Xinjiang authorities discovered he'd fled to America, his brother and 2 brothers-in-law disappeared.
Ularla aloqalash mumkin emas. Ular yig'ilish lagerida. Faqat ularning oila taobatlari, masalan, ayollari yoki ularning bizningki urug' tuqqanlarimiz bilan aloqa qilishmi hozirgi vaqt mumkin emas. Biz aloqa qila olamiz, biz telefon qilsak bo'ladi. Lekin biz telefon qilsak yoki ularga aloqalashsak, saqchilar darhol biladi va uning bilan bizning boshqa urug' tuqqanlarimizni yig'ilish lageriga kirib ketadi.
Back in Chongqing, journalist Liu Hu worries for his family too. His blacklisting on social credit has cast a shadow on those closest to him. Xia Xianhu is an old journalist colleague.
因为至少到目前为止我还没有进入黑名单，但是我觉得如果说这个事情是这样子的话，就有可能跟那个封建社会的连坐有点相似了，就是一人犯法，然后周边人全部都要被牵连，那样子的话可能就不是建立信用体系了，这个可能就是一种政治上的一种极端主义，这个我肯定不赞成的。
Like Tahir, Hu is risking the welfare of his friends and family to alert the world to China's experiment in high-tech social engineering. He says people don't fully comprehend what's to come. A digital totalitarian state where algorithms decide your fate and nothing can be questioned.
我觉得这是错的，这个是跟世界的潮流是背道而驰的。这个我们常常说要学习西方，一到这个限制政府权力的时候就不学了。这个是，包括这2天不是我们要降关税吗？汽车关税啊什么的，然后就说我们是自主的。
我觉得中国是人口最多的一个国家，那它可能跟西方国家不太一样。如果在西方去做一个申请，我觉得肯定是宝宝慢慢的健康成长，然后开开心心的，肯定他有自己喜欢做的事情，然后有一个比较良好的教育，然后可以非常开心的生活，我觉得这个就是最重要的了。
Fan Dandan and husband Xiao Jing's high social credit will give their son Rebao a running start. The provisions and protections of the party will be bestowed upon him, so long as mum and dad keep their credit up.
因为我觉得他在这里面即使好多东西不是尽善尽美的，不是现在就已经很完美了，但是他愿意去尝试这样的一个创新的一个手法，然后在使用的过程中慢慢去把它变得更好、更合适、更适合这个社会。那我觉得这个我是非常看好的，我也希望这个信用体系可以真正的给大家带来更多的收益。